From our Pop 40 segment, stay tuned for a guitar tutorial on Imagine Dragons Wrecked. In this live stream, we are going to concentrate on about five main concepts, which will help you play Wrecked. We shall be right back.
Play like a pro at String Sound Studios.
Good day, Mike Violette of String Sound Studios. I'm glad you're with us again, and glad you tuned in at String Sound Studios here. The goal of my live streams is to be educational, entertaining, and exploratory on a variety of topics and subjects relating to music, okay? We are streaming to you from multiple platforms. This is multi-streaming, so we're on YouTube, we're on Twitch, we're on Facebook, we're on Vimeo, we're on a whole bunch of things. Find them. Some newer ones, some newer, more obscure things. And please subscribe, especially to the YouTube. Hit that bell for notifications. And if anyone's out there, let me know how it's sounding, what it looks like or anything. And just, you can chat right in the box right there. So you can say, hi, Mike, how you doing? Whatever. Let's try to keep the lesson flowing here. So we got a good lesson today on this great pop tune. I really love Imagine Dragons. They have such a unique sound and a lot of great lyrics. The song, it's kind of a sad song. If you know the whole story, I'm not going to get into it, but I believe it's about his sister-in-law who passed away at a young age. And it's a great tune. Now, one of the things I'm going to do, I'm going to show you at least two ways to play this. There's not a lot of chord changes. However, it seems that people on YouTube are using a capo a lot, which you can do. And I'm going to do that later. But first, I want to do this minimalist thing on the song. And I'm going to show you how to move, because if you're playing it with a band, you're going to play it differently, all right, than you would solo and if you wanted to sing it, all right? So when you sing it, you're going to use the capo, play full chords. So let's do both of those two, and let's get going right away. Okay, first, we're going to start. So we're going to use a capo, and we're not going to use a capo. We're going to start with the latter, okay? The chords, it's basically in a minor mode, right? And the chords are C minor, E flat major, B flat, and sometimes an F minor chord, and sometimes an A flat chord. They are very close, and they're similar. And I'm going to show you a way to play this right now, not using big bar chords, but if I'm playing with a group, I'm going to play smaller chords to stay out of the way of everyone else. All right, so then we'll do the capo. So here we go. Let's first take a look at our C minor chord. Now I'm going to zoom in and show you all this, but first let me go through what I'm going to do. Now here, that's your rhythm too. We're going to talk about that. All right. And then I'm just going to go to an E flat chord. See that? You can see here, I'm going to go to the B flat chord. When I go to the F minor chord, I'm going to go here. You could also play it like this. Now again, I'm going to zoom in right now. Just wanted you to see from a larger perspective what I'm doing. Minimalist movement, notice I'm using my own capo instead of going like this. So we're going to zoom in. I'm going to take you on that ride right now. I'll hide behind the box as usual. If you're watching, that's great. And here we go. Should be able to see everything real nice and big. All right, don't be afraid to ask me questions. Let's go here on the C minor chord. Now, the C minor chord, this is triads, okay? I'm gonna be playing a lot of little triads here. If you take a look, I'll do my famous or infamous. Here's your C minor triad coming from a larger form, right? Let's know where these chords come from, a bigger form. And when I do the capo, I'm going to show you also. C minor. Now, this is an E flat chord, right? Let's work on those two chords there. But I'm not going to move so much. I'm going to play the C minor with a capo already there. See that? Oops, wrong chord. Sorry. Okay, here we go. So here's your C minor chord, right? We're just going to strum it slow. We'll concentrate on the rhythm later. When I go to the E flat chord, what I'm doing is I have common tones here. This is very important, right? Common tones. I have this, I have my E flat and my G. Remember, I don't want to do this and jump. I want to use minimal movement. So I have the C, the E flat, and the G. I'm playing with this. Now, when I go to the E flat chord, I'm only strumming these three strings. When I go to the E flat chord, I'm just taking this and putting it here, right? And what happens is the minute I get rid of this, I am playing the B flat. All right, so the chord looks like this, and like this. However, I'm keeping a capo there. Use capos as much as you can, with your hands, that is. Okay? I try to avoid them with songs, but you know, they're useful, a regular capo that you put on the guitar. So here's what we have. We have this, right? Move to the E flat. Again, 3, 4, 1. Okay? Then we're going to go to a B flat chord, and I'm simply going to keep this capo here. All right? I'm going to put a B flat here. So my capo is playing with 1 here, here. This is a B flat chord. Here's your larger form, right? Bar chord. Oh, they call it power chords. I don't really use that term, but we can use it here. Here's your B flat chord, right? So there it is right there. There's the upper part of it. And I'm putting a B flat. This is a B flat here. I'm going to get into a little more details about what I'm doing here, okay? Just want you to get through the chords here. So here's my B flat chord. Then I'm going to go to an F minor. Right? My F minor is like this. Think of a D minor here. But I'm using the capo. Okay? I'm using a little triad here. And I'm playing this. But I'm playing it with this part of my finger here. Okay? See that? All right, so let's go back and let's do this once. And the first time they do it, it's an F minor chord in the intro and in the verse at the 4th bar of the progression. Then he does A flat. So sometimes he plays this F minor chord here. So when he starts out, let's talk about a rhythm. That's something else we want to talk about and how to rest properly. Okay? Now, my rhythm is an 8th rest with an 8th note, 2 more 8th notes, an 8th rest with 3 more 8th notes. So it's 1 and 2 and 4 and. So it's rest, da da da, rest, da da da, da da, rest, da da, da da da. So it's 1. When you're resting, 3, 4, watch, 1. In this instance, because I'm not using a lot of open strings, you can control things better and just slowly release the tension. It's hard to see. When I'm pressing, if I go like this, right? So my hand just rests. And that's important. You don't want the chord ringing. That's one of the main concepts with studying, because that's the groove, that's the feel they're playing in the song, right? So it's this, 3, 4, 1. Again. Okay? Look at my picking. I'm going to do it really slow. 3 on the C minor chord. 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. So it's, you should pick it this way. 1, up, rest, up, down, up. Again, without playing it. 3, 4, 1. Up, down, up, down, up. There's a rest on beat 1 and a rest on 3. So that rhythm kind of repeats itself after beat 1 and after beat 3. All right? So it's 1 and 2 and rest and 4 and. And if you get that going, well, then it gets easier because the whole rhythm of the song, except in the distorted part when he goes to the chorus, is the same, okay? We're going to, I'll play the whole thing later. So 3, 4, 1. E flat. F minor. I played it wrong. Again. F minor. Now, what he does, get those 2 F minors down in the intro and in the verse, then every time after that, he uses an A flat chord like this. Oh, you can't play it like that. There's different ways to play this. So you do the verse once with the F minor, and then it continues most of the song. Most of the song continues with the C minor, the E flat, the B flat, and an A flat. And let's talk about that A flat. All right, arpeggio, meaning breaking up the chord, doesn't play that, but you see it, A flat. All right, you can relate this to shapes in first position, right? Here's your F chord. Move it up to fourth position there, and you have your A flat major chord. Remember, I'm using this capo though. Why am I using the capo? Because it's more of a minimalist movement. Watch. I don't want to do this, right? Move. Right? And then, jump to a B flat here. You could do that and jump to an A flat here. But you don't want to be doing this. Oh, I'll play this chord with the capo here. Sorry. And then jump back to here. Keep the capo here and just omit strumming those strings. When you need the capo, it's already there. So what I'm saying is your capo should be 4 strings. And you omit playing on certain, you want the C minor. B flat. It's great, see? I got my B flat right here. F minor. So let me play all the way through the verse. I'll play it with the looper. Remember, the third time, he's going to play A flat from then on in for the most part of the song. Okay? So we'll try, and then we're gonna work on the capo as well. So let me do it with the looper. Verse. He's singing. Flat. F minor again. Now, C minor. One more time. That's the A flat. E flat. Hold it. Now he goes into the part where he says, sometimes, I can't sing it that. Sometimes. All right. He goes into that part. And that's the same exact chords. He's going to do that twice. So we're talking about form as well. All right. So you have the use of the capo at the 3rd fret. And here with your hands, okay? And you want to do the rests properly. You want to do the syncopated rhythms. Remember, these are syncopated rhythms, all right? So we have this. Rhythm is 1. I just got a delivery of my golden guitar. I hope they grab it out there. And they open the door. I'm in the studio. Wow, that came quick. All right. I don't want anyone to take it. It's up by the door. All right. Use of the capos. All right. Doing short rests, syncopated rhythms. And we're going to talk dynamics and form in a little while. All right. So what happens is he goes into that sometimes part. Okay. There's your A flat chord. C minor. Now, he's going to go, that's when he goes in to the distorted part, all right? And one of the things, if you're using a regular capo, this thing here, this, and you're putting it on the guitar, I mean, you can still play the chords this way. You have to reform them a little bit differently, especially on the C minor. However, all right, when you're not using the capo, we could do full C minor, we could do a full E flat chord, but I would opt out and I would say just do this 1, 3, 4. So I'm going to do that distorted part, and then you slide up to an E flat here. Same thing, 1, 3, 4. Then you go to the B flat here, then the A flat. So this is an inside chord. So we have this 1, 3, 4. This is the chorus, the heavy part. And then we're going to go up to the E flat. You're going to slide that shape up, 1, 3, 4. Then you're going to go to the B flat. Same shape. You're moving from inside to outside. Remember, inside chord. Inside chord is, let's say we're starting on the 5th string. Outside chord, we're starting on the 6th string. So I have an inside root. The root of the chord is C, right? E flat, B flat. Okay. Now when you do that, you got to kick on your distortion pedal, right? So let's take a look. I'm going to play it from the beginning all the way through the first chorus. All right? Let's take a listen to that. Flat. Flat. Hold this. Sometimes. Two, 2, 3, 4. Now we start playing. Okay, let's stop there a moment. So that my looper won't shut up. So that part after the first chorus, when he comes back in, he doesn't play, there's no guitar there the first progression through. There's the guitar the next two progressions. Make sense? So you got to do the form, you got to talk about dynamics too. When you're playing this, right? You want to be dynamic. It's soft. Sometimes it's softer in the parts. And obviously, when you go to the chorus part, you got to kick that distortion pedal on. You don't have to play it especially loud. It's just going to be louder when you kick your distortion pedal on. Okay? However, it is a little more, it makes it more dynamic. So you got to realize that, all right, if you're playing this song. Okay, so let's go in. Now let's work with the capo. So we talked about minimalist type movement, all right? And at the A flat. We talked about the rhythm. One, ba da 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 da, which are syncopated rhythms. We talked a little bit about dynamics. And let's continue that, and we're going to throw the capo on right now at the 3rd fret. Now, before I play anything with the capo, when you use a capo, right, in my view, when you hold the strings here, because I see people put capos on and they put them on and all the strings are bent. What's that going to do? Throw your guitar out of tune. So when you put the capo on, hold the strings down so they're not bending. And at the capo, I try to put it as close as possible, just like I was playing, to the fret. All right, so let's talk about how you're going to do this with the capo. Playing with a band, we covered that. If you're doing this and you're going to sing it, you're going to play it more unplugged, you want to do it with the capo. You're going to get fuller chords, and the reason why is you'll be solo, you can get fuller chords. Well, let's talk about these chords. Now, one of the points I want to make, people call this, YouTubers, whatever, I see them teaching this, and I'm not trashing them. However, yes, that's the form, but they'll say, oh, this is an A minor. This is not an A minor chord. Remember, the chords are the chords. It's a C minor chord, and this is an E flat chord, all right? It's not a C chord, it's an E flat chord, and this is a G chord, all right, and so forth and so on, and that's an A flat chord. I mean, you could play the whole bar chord there. All right? When you play, so when you're using the capo, remember that, yes, they'll come from the forms here. That's what they're trying to say. I get it. A minor, C, then the G, and so forth and so on, then an F. But this is not an F. No, it's an A, it's a C minor. Right? And that's the shape, and that's the sound you want. So you don't want to be thinking, going through life, thinking, oh, this is a minor chord. It's not. So, and essentially, you're doing the same exact rhythms, but listen to the sound. It's fuller, right? 1. Now, when I go to the E flat chord, right, which is like a C in first position, when I go to the E flat chord, right, I'm going here. Now, here's the trick, right? Here's your chord form line, right? You want to get this as close as possible to here. However, when you're going to this chord here, I try to tell people to move this up a little. Watch. I'm going to slide this up and go like that. Realize your common tones, right? If I play this chord and I go to the E flat chord, this is C minor, and I go to the E flat chord, I'm holding these two down to reiterate the first point they made. Slide this up a little bit so this is comfortable. So you're not back like this and stretching with this and hitting, muting notes out. These all could come up. So realize your common tones. When the common tones are when 2 or more different chord names, 2 or more different chord names, share 1 or more of the same notes. Okay? So now we have this. All right? That's your first 2 chords. When you go to the B flat chord, right? So you're coming from here, you can play it like this. Like a G chord in first position. So it's fuller. Now Now, it's a little bit trickier to get that groove in the rest. Why? Because you're dealing with, well, because of the capo, you're dealing with strings that are ringing. Some of these are open. So you have to kind of rest with your right hand if you want that syncopated rhythm. All right, I'm going to back out a little bit and show you how I would play this and do the rest. I'm going to do it really slow. From the C minor, right? 3, 4. Right? And then. So what I'm doing is I'm resting with my right hand. Of course, you'll be playing back by your bridge. Right? So when you're doing this, it's here, 3, and start from the 5th string. Okay, fuller chords, just like you would play A minor. All right, you put this open, 3, 4, 1. See, it's all ringing. You can do that. Doesn't sound bad. If you want that groove, 3, 4, 1. Little trickier to play and rest. So you got to kind of lift this up and stop it with your right hand because you're dealing with open strings. Let me do that again. 3, 4, 1. Okay? And that's how you play. Now, again, you play a fuller F minor chord. That was the C minor to the E flat to the B flat to the A flat chord. Right? Remember what I said? There's an F minor in there as well. All right. So the first 2 times you start this progression on the 4th bar, there's an F minor. Then he goes to A flat. So how are we going to play the F minor? Well, you can play it the same way. All right. Here's your F minor chord, and I have this here. All right, so I can just play it like that. I have the 4th string, which is an F, this. So you come in from here, let's say. Sorry, let me do it again. I'll play down here because it's easier for me. 3, 4, 1. See that? I'm resting. I'm resting. When you rest, let me back out here and show you, okay, how you can do those rests. So let's be a little bit more specific how to rest. Come on, let's go. Working slow. All right, well, let's take a look. I'm doing this, so obviously I'm playing here so you can see everything, but now let's focus on my right hand. Let's just take a chord, all right? All right? I gently go like this and rest. I'm resting with this part of my hand. I'm not karate chopping it hard. I'm just resting. All right? And that's how you want to rest. So, see that? This. You don't want to slap it. Just easy. Or else you get a lot of noise. All right? So if we're playing this with capo, we have this. I'll play down here. And that's the whole song. Now I want to go through if you're going to play with a capo and you're going to do those bigger chords, that's fine. Well, let's zoom back in because what happens when you get to the chorus part. So let's zoom back in and let me just show you that briefly. Then I'll play the whole thing. We'll wrap it up. Okay? All right, so if I'm going to play the chorus part, let me put the distortion on, all right? And I get to the C minor, I'm just going to go like this. This, and this. All right, because you already have the C here. The capo is holding the 5th string here. So we're just going to go like this. Everything else the same. B flat. Okay? Remember to go to here. I mean, you can do this too. it's too many doubling of notes, too ringy when you play those chords, right? So remember, I'm doing this two ways, once with the band, one solo. But either time when you go to that distorted part, if you're going to do that and you're playing solo, I would not play all these full chords that are very ringy with open strings. Okay? And that about wraps it up. We talked about using the capo and not using the capo. We talked about how to rest. We talked about syncopated rhythms, dynamics, and form. Okay? The form is super important. You have to listen to the song, listen to where the breaks are, listen to where he mellows out and he doesn't use any guitar. But the chords are pretty much all the same. Right? And he does a solo, not much of a solo towards the end, but it's kind of standard form. You have verses, chorus, and with that kind of pre-chorus where he says sometimes. So rather than play the whole thing here, I think you should just listen to it because we have most of the parts. So if you play like half the song, you know most of the parts. All right? And just listen, especially to the end part, because he goes right back into the chorus sooner, and then he mellows out in like the third verse. Then he goes right back to the chorus again. So you want to listen to the song. Hopefully this was really helpful. All right, I'm trying to be as detailed as possible. I don't think I left anything out. And I really enjoyed doing this song, and I really enjoy doing these. Please support us at stringsoundstudios.com. Support us with making a donation on my website through PayPal, or Play Like a Pro video courses. That would be better. Send me feedback. All right, send feedback with anything that you would like to do or any questions you have, and write in, and I'll try to answer your questions next time, and write in with requests. Remember, I have some video courses there on my website, and I will be doing more. So hope you enjoyed these live streams, and we'll see you next week. Remember to follow us on all the social media, and we shall see you, and remember to do this.
Play like a
See you later.
pro at String Sound Studio.